Weekly update for September 29th, 2017. And as per last week's teaser, yes, you're about to see Dave Sim do his first Cerebus drawing in 2.5 years. And the reason that I was doing my first drawing in 2.5 years is I've been doing the mock-ups for the Cerebus and Hell strips, and as I've been telling people, I was doing pretty bad word balloons, which is really all the drawing that I had to do, is just putting word balloons in so that Benjamin Hobbs can see where to put the word balloon if the background's too light, so that he can see who the word balloon's going to. And about 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, suddenly it became a lot easier. My batting average went from about 50% on doing the word balloons to about 70%, and then just hit a whole different level where I went, something is definitely different inside the wrist. Essentially the point where whatever it is, which kept me from drawing, because while I was trying to concentrate on what my fingers and thumb and the pen point were doing, all my brain was doing was going, what is up with the wrist? What is going on in that little spot there? And no matter what I did, I couldn't get my bind out of that part of my wrist and back into my fingers and thumb where it belonged. So, like I say, suddenly it's not there. It is, whatever it is in the wrist has now moved about a ½ inch south, which means it's still uncomfortable and it still can be painful, but it's not in the spot where it's affecting my perception of where the pen point is and what my fingers and thumb are doing. It's just this pain in the vicinity. It's not a pain in the specific spot where obviously a lot of my drawing comes from, and I had no awareness of until February 27th, 2015, when it just became inescapable. So one of my major regrets was when Tim F., our very, 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 very generous sponsor and patron, agreed to have 2 Cerebus artist editions done for him. And he paid $10,000 a book. And I have been saying pretty much all along, if I ever get to the point where I can draw again, that's definitely a place where I would want to do a drawing, is for a patron that generous. So as the wrist was improving, I relayed word to Tim through Sean Robinson that I would do him a ballpoint pen sketch of Cerebus in each of the books. And of course Tim is like, don't do that, like don't send your wrist into another tailspin doing drawings for my books. And it's like, well, okay, but at some point, if I think the wrist is in an improved state, I mean, it's very, very far from perfect, but if there's only one drawing that I'm going to do, it's going to be for Tim F.'s Cerebus hardcover #1 Minds, which is, that was his choice. He bought 2 books, each one for $10,000 US, that would be all of the Minds pages that are in the Cerebus archive and all of the Guys pages that are in the Cerebus archive. Well, okay, I only got one good Cerebus drawing left in me, and if I have to test to find out how the wrist is doing, this is what I'm going to do. So Tim F., if you can't stand to watch this, now is the time to turn off your laptop. Okay, it's not that bad, but after 8 hours of drawing, it's throbbing pretty good. So come back and join us next week for the October 6th weekly update. when we'll see how the hand is doing and if there's going to be a drawing for Cerebus hardcover number 2. And don't forget, Hardbar Comics number 1, the second Cerebus in Hell one-shot, in stores this week.